Alright guys, yo, what up? So, hey, it has been a while again since I've done a video. I think my last video was, of course, my Batman v Superman review. So, I decided, hey, if I'm going to do another video, I haven't done reactions. I still don't know if I ever want to do them again or get back into them. I may. Reviews, yes, probably. But a certain film came out last night, which I saw the pre-screenings of. And by judging by the shirt, yes, it is the Suicide Squad, another DC film. And if you've seen my other reviews, you know I am a massive DC fan. And this is also a film I was looking forward to, but I was also iffy at the same time in this. And of course, this is a film that, like Batman v Superman, got absolutely trashed by the critics. Now, I'm not going to go into a whole thing of saying, oh, well, Disney's paying off the critics again, because as I said in my Batman v Superman review, I personally think that's crazy, and I don't believe Disney is paying off critics. I just believe the critics, they just have their own mindset of what they want, how they perceive of what they want to see and what it should be, but like I said, that's their own opinions. Personally, I don't take critics' opinions. I used to years ago, but I've stopped doing it over seeing how certain critics can be very hypocritical about one film to another film. And it's not just comic book films, it's like every film in general. You can look at a critic and say, a critic's review on one film, and they could rip up something apart completely. But then another film which has very similar issues and similar problems that they didn't like in this film, they will give it a pass on this film and like the film. So I've stopped listening. I don't really listen to critics. And if a film I want to see, put it this way, if I want to see a film, a critic could give it could get 1% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm still going to go see it because I wanted to see it, and I'm going to form my own opinion. Critics bash Warcraft. I still saw Warcraft. I liked Warcraft. But I'm way off topic. Let's talk about Suicide Squad. So, first let me just start by saying, I liked it. I enjoyed myself. I went with a bunch of friends. They enjoyed it too. I actually enjoyed this more than I enjoyed Batman v Superman. Now when I say that, I enjoyed it more than the theater cut of Batman v Superman. The Ultimate Edition I really enjoyed, and put it this way, I think I gave Batman v Superman I think it was a 7.5 or an 8 in my other review. I actually raised that to an 8.5 after I saw the Ultimate Edition. Now, I still think Civil War was better, but I think Batman v Superman was a lot better with that cut. But the Suicide Squad, I enjoyed this film. I had a lot of fun watching this film. Now, if you don't know, the main basis of Suicide Squad is basically Amanda Waller, who runs the secret organization Argus. Well, it's not really a secret organization. A lot of superheroes in the universe, a lot of people know about it, as long as you're like in government, like everyday people don't. But basically, she gathers some of the biggest villains, a lot of these villains are most of them are Batman villains, some of them being other ones, but she gathered them together for her own group. In the comics and in the cartoon, she did this mainly because she hated the Justice League, and it bothered her that the Justice League was its own form of a group that refused and did not answer to the government, wouldn't answer to anybody, and it drove her nuts about that, and so she created her own group to deal with the problems the way that she seems fit. Now, and I have to say, with this film, now here's the thing, I do see there are some problems. Once again, just like BVS had problems, I can see them, but those things did not take away from my enjoyment of this film. And the main reason is why I think it's more the fact that I want something different out of comic book films, and that was some of my problems with when I was watching with Marvel films down the road, is I got sick and tired of seeing the same formula, which is why personally, and I'm getting off topic again, which is the biggest reason why I absolutely love Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier, which is my favorite Marvel film, the Captain America Civil War, but it's the main reason why, and the first Avengers. It's the main reason why I like those films is because at the time when the Avengers came out, it didn't follow the same formula. It was sort of, but that formula wasn't at a point where it just was copy and paste. It just became copy and paste with Iron Man and the Thor films. And Captain America, for me, really stood out when Winter Soldier came out. I was like, whoa, this doesn't even seem like a Marvel film. This just seems like these guys, the Russo brothers, they've got their own style, and it's different for me, and it works great. This is not just, this is guys who, and then when like Guardians came out, it was the same thing. Whoa, James Gunn, he's bringing his own flavor. He's not just going to do the normal Marvel beat. He's like, no, he's like, I've got my own style and I got my own flavor, and it works. And I love that because I want something different out of comics. I didn't want to see the same thing. Mainly reasons why I hate Thor the Dark World. I think it's a piece of shit. I thought the first Thor was mediocre. I hate Age of Ultron. I absolutely think Iron Man 3 is a vomit fest, which I will never watch that film again. But back to Suicide Squad. First, let me point out. Big main standout for me was Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie, in my opinion, she killed it as Harley Quinn. But when she was cast for Harley Quinn, and here's the thing, honestly, I actually thought of her as Harley Quinn way back during when The Wolf of Wall Street came out. Mainly because of certain scenes in that with Leo, and she just had this face and certain like the way she talked in that film. I was like, I remember telling a buddy of mine at the time, I'm like, yo, if they ever did Harley Quinn, which I don't think they'll ever do, I think she'd be kind of good for the role. Years later, hey, it happened. So it was awesome. Will Smith. I think Will Smith did a great job as Deadshot. And I know a lot of people are on the fence about Will Smith because Will Smith has had a kind of rocky few years with some really bad films that we haven't liked. After Earth, I think we'd like to forget about that film, and I know he would too. But I think he did a great job in this film. I think he brought the charismatic feeling to Deadshot that only kind of like that flavor that Will Smith has, and I think it gave more to the character. I think it made you actually feel more for the character and be more relate more to the character. And also, man, he was just cool, and I love that. Now, I will admit with some things that people say, I do believe, yes, Killer Croc. First, I'm going to say this, and it is kind of true. Killer Croc, Katana, Boomerang was severely underused. And I completely agree with what some people say about that. They could have done a lot more with their characters. They chose to focus on more of Harley, Flag, and Deadshot. I would say the Joker, but the Joker isn't in a lot of the film. But that doesn't bother me because, honestly, I know some people are like, why isn't the Joker in this film more? Well, you know what? That doesn't bother me because I didn't go to see Suicide Squad to see the Joker. If I want to see the Joker, I'll wait for Ben Affleck to make his Batman film. Then, if it's going to be a film between Batman and Joker, then I'll get a lot of the Joker. But I think, honestly, I liked what Jared did. He didn't copy Heath. He didn't copy Nicholson. He brought something new to the table, and that's what I want. I don't want to see things just get recycled and copied over and over again because it gets boring. That's one thing I'm against. I hate reboots. I'm just not a fan of. I don't like reboots, and that's mainly why. Because I don't want to see something just redone over again and copied. I want to see you bring something fresh and new to the table. And I like that Suicide Squad was something different. I know a lot of people compare it to Guardians, yes. And in terms of these outcast type of characters, yes, it's similar to Guardians like that in terms of like being zany and things. But outside of that, Guardians, those guys are good guys and became heroes. Suicide Squad may have saved the world, but they're not. They're still bad guys. And I mean, Deadshot will still, if you give him a contract, he'll still go kill somebody for you. Harley Quinn is still a psychopath who will murder you for laughs. It's just the way it is. Killer Croc will probably still eat you. It's just the way these characters are. Cara Delevingne is Enchantress. I did like her, though I thought it could have been done a little better in some aspects. I think that Cara did what she had to work with that character. I think she brought, but I do like how, in terms of, like, I do believe that her background as a model kind of helped with this, because she did bring an elegance, like, the way that she, like, acted at certain times with Enchantress, she did bring that, like, elegance out to like and I kind of like that. I like that. I really did like that. Viola Davis. I mean, I there's nothing I can really say that shouldn't be, that anybody hasn't said or couldn't be said. That woman just brought everything to the show, and anybody who's anybody knows she's a great actress. She's a phenomenal actress, and boy did she bring her A game. And let me tell you, Viola Davis definitely brought the Amanda Waller to screen. That is, woo! You don't fuck with that woman. That is one bad mamma jamma. Yeah, and she definitely brought that kind of like in the cartoon of like I always was like even in the comics like Amanda Waller always somewhat always pissed me off, and had this like thing about, I don't know what it was, but I loved the fact that it pissed me off, and she kind of had that, and Viola Davis kind of brought that out, because there's been times it's in there in theater I'm like Waller, you son of a bitch. and that's great that she made me kind of feel like that. Overall, I'm not going to go on and on forever, but overall, I like this film. And if I had to score it, I would give this an 8 right off the bat. Maybe an 8.2. I definitely agree that it does seem there's a lot of footage that is missing. And it's obvious and I know I've heard this stuff where Warner's cut through and obviously chopped up things. Granted, I don't know if Warner's doing that screwed up the film. I know Warner's doing that might have screwed up BVS, but in the case of BVS, I'll say this, even though I like the film, that film never should have been shot to be 3 hours long, because Zack Snyder should have known you're not going to be able to release a 3-hour film, and you can't shoot it just to be like, I'm going to release it as an extended cut. Now, I'm saying that, but I still did like the film. But yeah, in that case, it should never have been shot as a 3-hour film, because a 3-hour film was never going to be released, and Zack should have known that from the start, and should never have shot a 3-hour film. It should have been shot to be a 2.5-hour film, and then cut things out and make it you could have cut things out and still released that version that was in the 3-hour film with stuff that didn't need to be in the film removed. But that's a different film. I do like where this is going. Listen, I do understand DC, honestly, I know this. I don't honestly know how this is going to do opening weekend. I know they're projecting 140 million. I don't think that's going to happen. I think because this is split. Again, there are people who like it, and there's people who won't. And I think the casual audience is not going to like this. I don't think they're going to get it at all. And I see this film maybe opening up at 115 million, under 120 million. Now that could be. I think in the long run, I think this film will slightly cross 200 million. Maybe end up around 500 million. It's not going to hit higher than that. Now, I know that may be deemed as a failure, but this film was a risk to begin with. And here's the thing. I honestly, if this film had got critical praise, I still think this film would have been a risk to begin with, because the certain casual audience just will not get this type of thing. So, I never believed this would be. I'm a realist in things like this. I don't go out of my way and say, "Oh, the film's going to make $1 billion." Come on, you gotta be realistic on certain things. Not everything can make $1 billion. $1 billion is done when it appeals to a wide audience. And the biggest thing, and this is not going to appeal to kids, because in all honesty, parents are not going to bring their kids to see this movie. Honestly, if I had a little kid, maybe like 7 or 8, I probably would not bring them to see this film. Only because this is not a film for younger kids, maybe. So, I don't think this is going to be the monster that some people think it could be. Like I said, I'm a realist. But now that may be a failure. But hey, maybe with the sequel, it can get bigger if they maybe fix some of this stuff. But I do agree, the movie's getting slammed. This can't keep happening with DC. And I said this to somebody else. I know next up is Wonder Woman. And I'm going to say this. I truly, truly believe that Wonder Woman will be the first DC Universe film that gets praise. Listen, and the reason I say that, and then I would say that, and somebody could be like, well, you know what? You look at the other ones, and they could have had praise too. And the reason why I say this is because what I see the what people criticize with BVS and with Suicide Squad is they're criticizing that these like the story, there's no story being told, and they're like the story and the narratives are not being done right. And the one thing I watched the 75th anniversary Comic-Con panel, the one thing I took out of that every time I heard Patty Jenkins talk is that this is a woman and this is a director who believes in this character. And that's actually the first time I've heard a DC director say that. I've never heard Snyder say something like that. I've never heard, did not hear Ayer. But her saying that she believes in this character and that she believes that there is a story to be told, a well story to be told, and like a heart that can be told within this character. The way she talked at that panel, like something in my mind said to me, this is a woman and this is a director who I think is going to make the DC film that a lot of critics have actually been wanting to see. The type of film that I think when that film comes out, I think critics are going to be, I think you're going to probably see, I think it's going to get good praise, and I think you're going to see certain critics say, this is the DC film that they finally have been waiting for. A film which fits and which caters to the problems that they have had with the other DC films. And that's truth. I truly believe Patty Jenkins will deliver on that. Because, like I said, she seems like a woman who truly, really cares and gets Wonder Woman and gets this character. I mean, I say that. And if you haven't watched the 75th anniversary panel of Comic-Con, it's on YouTube. Check it out. And just watch it, and you may understand what I'm getting to about that. But yeah, I truly believe. Now, I don't believe that. Now, if it doesn't get bad reviews, I don't think it's the death of the DCEU. I know some people are saying Suicide Squad not being as big is not the death of the DC universe, because Suicide Squad was a wild card film to begin with, and even Warner Brothers, even though they spent the amount of money on this, they even themselves knew this is a wild card film. Because this isn't your normal DC well-known thing. This is a wild card. Doing something about villains is a wild card film. Wonder Woman's still gonna get made. Justice League is still coming. Now, the only way something bad could happen to the DCEU in terms of, hold it, we may not be going anywhere anymore, Father, is, I would have to say, is if Wonder Woman bombed. Wonder Woman would have to absolutely tank and be a pile of shit. I mean, a really bad movie. Even like something even me coming on here after seeing it be like, oh my gosh, what the hell happened with that film? It would have to tank badly, and if because that would set a chain reaction, which would give people downer for Justice League, which is coming out 6 months later, and would make that underperform. And that would probably be the point where DC and Warner Brothers cuts back, because let me tell you something, Aquaman may be coming. I'm willing to bet 100%. Aquaman is set for the 2018, but I guarantee you it will not go into production until after Wonder Woman comes out. When they will be waiting to see if Wonder Woman is a hit, because they do not want they do not want Wonder Woman as a failure, and then possibly people being soured and not being interested in Justice League and having two failures, and then having Aquaman coming right up next. I think Wonder Woman is the key right now with the DCEU. I think it all stands right there, which is really hard for Patty Jenkins right now. And like I said, I'm saying this, but I still like Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman. I don't hate those films. And it's not a fanboyism, because I love DC and Marvel. X-Men are my favorite thing from Marvel. I never really cared about Captain America, and have become a massive Captain America fan thanks to the Captain America films. Now I've become less of an Iron Man fan, which I hate Iron Man and despise, but I'm for both. I'm a comic book fan. I just love DC more. I go to see Marvel films unless it's something I don't care about, like Ant-Man I didn't see because I'm not interested in the character. Though he was cool in Civil War. I'll most likely see Spider-Man, though I'm not happy about what I'm hearing about Spider-Man. I don't want Tony Stark in the film. I don't want Black Widow in the film. Just let Spider-Man have his own film. He doesn't need anybody else in him. He's fucking Spider-Man. Let us just get a good Spider-Man film with Spider-Man and not Spider-Man with side Avengers. But yeah, I think so. That's really about it. I enjoyed Suicide Squad. I enjoyed BVS. I give Suicide Squad an 8. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next in the DC universe. I'm excited for Wonder Woman. Like I said, I truly have a lot of faith in listening to Patty Jenkins speak, because what I heard from her is something I have not heard from any DC director, and she, listening to her talk at that, it sold me on the fact that I truly believe it will be the film that everyone has been finally, and the ones people who haven't liked Suicide Squad and BVS will look at it and say, finally, this is the film. When they review it, they'll be like, this is the DC film that we've been waiting for, that we have been wanting to see. And so until then, I guess that is about it. So leave comments below. Did you like Suicide Squad? Did you not? If you don't, that's your choice. We all have our own opinions. Form your own opinion. Don't be a sheep. Don't let somebody else be the one to tell you and form your opinion for you. So that's about it. I might do more review videos. It depends. I might actually do videos when the Flash starts up again. Don't know. But until then, see you later, guys, and keep it real. Maybe even do some reactions depending if there's something cool coming up. Maybe I'll do one to Rogue One. Who knows? But until next time, see you later, guys.